Welcome back to Falcons franchise. We are 1-1. Week 1 didn't go very well. Week 2 went a little bit better. 27-24 victory over the Seattle Seahawks. And today we have our first division matchup against the 0-2 Carolina Panthers. Now, they are better than the team you're used to seeing if you're watching the Panthers, who haven't won in real life. If I said the Panthers, I didn't call them undefeated moments ago, did I? They are only defeated. They are winless. But they do have Brian Burns, Miles Sanders, Von Bell, Taylor Moton, who is injured this week, Jeremy Chin, Derek Brown. These are all players I actually have on their team right now. Do they bring in anybody other than Bryce Young just developing a little bit? And he gave us a lot of problems, a lot of trouble the first time we saw him in Falcons franchise. Zay Jones, I guess. BJ Hill, Garrett Bowles are in there. I mean, I guess it's a slightly better team. They drafted Keelan Terry from Stanford. He, of course, being the teammate of a defensive tackle we drafted this year. But, of course, we don't really see him get, on the field too much. That, of course, is Trent Jackson. He's a 73 overall, just buried a bit on the depth chart right now. This video is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. And if you live in one of these yellow states, you are eligible to play my favorite way to play daily fantasy sports, which is the Pick'em mode. If you live in one of the silver or light gray, you can't play Pick'em, but you can play their fantasy best ball tournaments. And if you live in one of the dark gray states, you're not eligible to play at all. I apologize. These are my picks for the Sunday night game. So if you're watching tonight, this is what I have. This is everything I have. Might add something else that I'll tweet out. Unfortunately, Bijan Robinson let me down earlier. It's currently the second quarter of the Niners game, so we'll see if Ayuk goes over for the insurance cash. But I've got Marquez Valdes-Scantling, lower 12.5 receiving yards. He's just a deep threat, and he drops a lot of passes. If he converts on a deep threat, he's going higher, but right now I have him lower. Jaden Reed, higher, 3.5 catches. Pacheco, higher, 15.5 rushing attempts. I think they're going to be running the ball quite a lot tonight against a bad Packers defense. You could also take Pacheco higher on yards, I think. And then I'm going with the Scorcher for the multiplier by 1.25 times on 2 passing touchdowns for Jordan Love or higher. And then Rashee Rice is becoming a focal point of that offense now. It's not Sky Moore. It's not Marquez. It's Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice. And for that same reason, I've got Jaden Reed, Jordan Love, yards. I also like yards on Love. Wicks, I'm going yards. Now, the Chiefs do have a good pass defense, so you're gambling a little bit, but Ontavion Wicks and Jordan Love has been such a great connection so far this year. I think it's going to continue. He is questionable for tonight. I wouldn't necessarily put this on every pick'em entry, but I do like it. If I had to make just a 3-man, I might go Jaden Reed catches, Jordan Love yards, and Rashee Rice yards. Don't really love many of the lowers tonight, except for Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and I'd consider Sky Moore, but I didn't feel great enough to throw it on. But of course, use code BENGAL at sign up on Underdog Fantasy. You'll get a deposit match up to $100, so that's up to $100 free to play with when you use code BENGAL at sign up on Underdog Fantasy, and hopefully we can make some money. I'm doing quite well this year. Hopefully we can keep it up. We're going to set up our focus scouting, though. I think it's got to be defensive tackle for the West. I'm just not really interested in drafting a tackle that high in the draft. I don't think. Things could change, but I don't think. Still always interested in getting better pass rushers, so we will scout outside linebacker. Northeast is wide receiver and strong safety for our scouts. I think safety's just completely fixed. I know Jesse Bates is not great for us, but I would say wide receiver probably a bit more of something I'm interested in. And then Southeast, it's got to be, of course, defensive end. Drills are complete. Our goal is to allow 2 or fewer passing touchdowns, and I think that's doable. Now, I am seeing injuries pop up more often in practice now, but it has mostly been backups, so we've kind of avoided the injury bug for the most part. Really, the only players getting injured are players that we often don't see. John Graves is one that plays a little bit more often because he's a sub-package linebacker, but won't be today. We'll be without him. It is expected to rain heavily for this game in Carolina, but I guess we'll try to run the ball. That's kind of always the plan when it rains, right? But I have to see if it's effective. I don't like these face scans. Jedrick Wills looks insane, and Jake Matthews, go back and look at it. Nightmare fuel on the left side of the screen. We do have some upgrades for rookies, though. We're going to start with the quarterback, Jake Meeks from Texas Tech. His development trait is almost revealed. Medium accuracy is the big problem with him. But there's not really an easy way to upgrade medium accuracy. I'm just going to go with improviser, get his throw under pressure rating up if we can, and then +2 throw accuracy mid as well. That's a pretty great overall upgrade. He definitely got a lot better, and if we had to play him, it's not the worst thing. And then the other rookies, Johnny Hamilton, the interior defensive lineman, his block shedding needs to be higher. I'd love to get his speed up, but it's never going to be anywhere where I can be excited about it. We get a small boost to a number of things. +2 tackling might be the big one there. Awareness is still so low. His strength is amazing. His power moves is fantastic. Acceleration's great, even though he accelerates to not a fast top speed. So block shed really has to be the big thing that gets upgraded because he needs to be a run stopper. Quentin Drummond, also with an upgrade. I keep saying how I want to get him more involved. And medium route running is terrible. But catching traffic could also go up. I'm going to do slot this time around. Now, his overall does jump up to a 76, but morale takes it back down to a 75. We get +2 to short route running, +1 catching traffic, +1 to awareness. It's not a huge boost. And the first mock draft is out as well. Has the Texans at number 1 selecting Ohio State's Deion Watkins with A finesse moves. Now, I'm interested in the defensive tackle Ezekiel Pleasant from Stanford. Stanford is becoming DTU lately with these past few draft classes. He looks very good. We are currently expected to pick where? At number 31. That is our only first round pick. Although, obviously, things could change. But for right now, that's where we are. And as you can see, the rain is pouring here in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can never trust those meteorologists. Like, maybe with regards to talking about meteors, it's in the name, but the weather, I mean, it's beautiful. And here we go. We are underway in Charlotte, North Carolina. Panthers back to return, and Hitchens will just settle for a knee and a touchback as Bryce Young takes the field. 82 overall, superstar development, but has been a little bit up and down this year. 550 yards passing in 2 games is pretty good. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks is not so good. But his competition on the other side of the field in Trey Lance has also struggled a little bit here early. So a lot of season left. And hopefully Bryce Young actually does not improve, and Trey Lance does, as Miles Sanders will take it for 5. I'm really impressed with our linebackers if you look at just week 2. Week 1, it wasn't so great, but we went with a more rookie-focused approach with a lot of Jose Carrington, Dylan Stanley, and Carrington in particular played really, really well, as his brother Jason cannot tackle Mingo, and Jonathan Mingo gets 47 yards. Okay, well, we put Jeff Okudah in the slot. Jason Carrington was going to be one-on-one on the outside, and instead of diving for the deflection like I wanted, he lets him catch it and then dives around him. And it's a massive mistake and a massive play for the Panthers to start things off here. Not great from us, but again, a lot of game left, a lot of time to make plays, and there's one. Arnold Ebiketie gets to Bryce Young. We don't get many sacks on this team, certainly not from our edge rushers. It's nice that somebody decided to get pressure. It was a design blitz. Somebody was going to get in there, and Arnold Ebiketie is the one who ends up getting home. 2nd and 15 now for Carolina. Could be a run, but they're going to go play action. Bryce Young looking to throw, and we'll find Jonathan Mingo again. Look at the speed of Dylan Stanley, but he should never be the one making a tackle on a comeback route. 2nd and goal from the 7. Young out of the shotgun. They will actually run the ball here and do so fairly successfully. Miles Sanders takes it down to the 2. Okay, we got to figure out a way to not allow that, but there's just a lot of space, and they're throwing the ball so effectively right now. Maybe we just put Okudah on Jonathan Mingo. Here's read option, and they run past Bryce Young. Stanley playing dirty as usual, kind of like drop-kicked Bryce Young in the face, which is not hard to do. He's like, what, 3 feet tall? Yeah, got him. Anyway, my defenders are idiots. It's not only Deion Dobbins, but especially Deshaun Humphreys annoying me on that. Deion Dobbins, rookie defensive end. had no clue what was going on. Deshaun Humphreys was a great rookie. Year 2 linebacker. You can't collapse. You're never going to make a play if the running back keeps it in that spot. Never, ever, ever if you loop around. Somebody had to play the quarterback. Nobody did. Panthers up early. And Trey Lance's numbers are basically identical to what Bryce Young is doing. But we said we were going to try to run the ball today because obviously it is raining a lot. And home team has more stamina during plays, and away team offensive play art can be incorrect. Well, we know we're running the ball and looking for space with Bijan. We're trying to get creative with these runs. He had a nice game last week, averaging like 4.7 yards per carry, which is really, really good. Not really, really good, but that's a really solid season average. And of course, people were unhappy that Bijan still is not doing well enough. He should average 8 yards per play. That would be better. There's a nice run, and that is an 8-yard run. Wouldn't it be nice if the Falcons just did this? Give their best running back the ball more. There's a really good block from Pitts, and a really good block from Rashid Shaheed, and Bijan is rolling here against the Panthers run D. Yeah, I mean, he's capable of doing all of this in real life, and I swear the Falcons are just not interested in it. Gonna work off play action. We're going to roll out and throw to Madsen. Madsen, one man to beat, and it's a huge play. But Von Bell is able to make the tackle and save a ton of yards. 4 yards for Madsen's not bad. It's just, obviously not great. And I think, based on where we are in the field, this is 4-down territory, so I feel really comfortable running the ball. But look at Rashid Shaheed on the runoff, and look at all that space for Algier. It's a 17-yard pickup. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe this is the best running back the Falcons have. Except it's not. Hook 'em. Shout out Ricky. Texas. Into the college football playoff. Listen. Only thing I'll say about it, because I've been tweeting about this almost nonstop. I apologize if you follow me and don't care about it. Texas deserved to be in. So did Florida State. And Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State. Listen, this needed to be the year of an 8-team playoff. 12 is too many. That's what it's expanding to next year, right? It's too many. 8 is the sweet spot, but they're not going to go back down to 8 from never doing 8. They're going from 4 to 12. If I were making it, regardless of 4 best teams, I probably do put Florida State in there, as Bijan has a ton of space, and Bijan will fight into the end zone for the score. Did that a ton at Texas. But if I had it my way, if I had some type of vote, I think, there are things you have to factor in. Like, Florida State's strength of schedule was atrocious. I don't care about ACC over SEC wins. The only good SEC team that was played was LSU, and their defense is atrocious. Their offense is great, though. But Florida State's strength of schedule was very bad. Very bad. The only big ACC win was over LSU by Florida State, who Alabama already beat. Alabama was definitely better. Georgia's definitely better than Florida State. But FSU went 13-0, won their conference, albeit not a great one, but went 13-0. And down to their third-string quarterback. It sucks that Jordan Travis got injured, and we're probably not having this conversation if he didn't. But FSU, man, it's just a tough spot. They were not one of the 4 best teams today, which is why they didn't get in. But they deserve to be in. It's a really tough spot. But I'm stoked about Texas. I'm going to be going to New Orleans to watch the Sugar Bowl. I'm so excited. Texas versus Washington should be a really fun one. Washington's receivers match up really well against the Texas secondary. I'd take the over. But, yeah, I'm stoked about Texas. I'm gutted for FSU. What more can you do other than just not have your quarterback get injured? You really got to feel for them. But they weren't the best team. They weren't one of the best 4 today. Georgia, honestly, if you're going to rank the best teams, Georgia should have been ahead of Florida State, even with the one loss to Alabama. But it's really tough to say, hey, you winning every game doesn't matter, essentially, which it's tough. And I know everyone's going to disagree on this, and I think FSU was robbed, but I also don't think they were a top 4 team, so how can I think they were robbed in a way? You know what I mean? I think at the end of the day, it just needed to be 8 teams. because Ohio State, I think, beats Florida State right now. I think a lot of teams do, just because they're not the same team. Great defense, but not the same team without Jordan Travis. They can't move the ball. Dylan Stanley, please make a play. He can't do it. Mingo, again, is just cooking everybody. Doesn't matter which DB's on him. Yeah, I probably should have made some videos on this on my other channel. What is that called? I think it's called... I don't even know. What is it called? I don't know. It's not Gene Dangus. It's not Bengal Plays. It's the other one. I can't remember. I gotta... How can I shout it out if I don't even know it? Ah, Big Game Bengal, like my Twitter handle. That's right. Well, there you go. I don't upload it on it very often. I wanted to, and I just didn't. Just focusing on the main channel. Same reason I've kind of abandoned Bengal Plays for the time being, but that'll be back in the football offseason almost for sure. Dylan Stanley with a nice tackle, but we're focused back on Falcons franchise. No, a bit of a tangent here, but just excited about it, man. Just excited. Throw over the middle. Guess who? Jonathan Mingo on Jason Carrington again. Jesse Bates helping's not doing anything. We cannot cover this guy. Caden Ellis into the game. It's going to be a pitch to the outside. Use that speed. Caden Ellis is there. But the tackle, of course, made. I think that's DeMarco Helms. They give it to Arnold Ebiketie, but also they definitely don't. I think it was 37 who made the play, and I think that's DeMarco Helms, so we don't really see it on the field too often. Here's second and goal. It is a run. Dylan Stanley. Unbelievable play. Zay Jones injured. Who did it? You'll get a game check. Bonus. Now, Zay Jones is not exactly a big loss. We need something else if you want that bonus. But look at Dylan Stanley on this play. Are you kidding me? Gets off the block, and this is one-on-one. You got to defeat the block. He sheds it, and bang! Meets Miles Sanders. Probably knocks him out. CTE for Miles Sanders. And it's third and goal from the 1. If we can save a touchdown now, that's incredible. And we do. Tackle made by Javon Holland. Big free agent signing. Big player for us. And they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. Goal line stand potentially incoming. Here it is. 4th and goal. Panthers out of the shotgun. And they're going to pass. They're going to throw, and they're going to get it. Touchdown for Brandon Cooks. That's a new addition. Although he's regressed a bit. But DeMarco Helms in coverage. That is number 37. Yeah, not a great matchup. But we got to come out in our goal line personnel. They took advantage of the matchup. Can't blame them. Nice play. And Carolina goes back up ahead. We've run the ball really effectively so far. So great time to pass. Going off play action. Oh, Neil Madsen just stopped running. Needed to throw the ball earlier, obviously, but he just stopped running. It's very annoying. It's also annoying that Carolina keeps having, momentum, and I can't see what these routes are after I call it. Because you guys know me. I go brain dead. I click coach suggestions, call whatever. Pretty much find out what the play is while we're under center. And I can't do that when we don't know the play. Here's slants. It's 3rd and 3. They're leaving London open. Now, that free safety is going to come up to take away the slant. Kyle Pitts on the drag. Madsen's going to take the safety. Somebody's going to get open. We're going to throw the slant. There's London, and he actually makes the catch in traffic. Safety didn't move, so we had to throw the slant, take the one-on-one. Now, that's a play that we've seen not work before because Drake London just drops the ball. But it's the best matchup. It's how that play is intended to work. I think we had to take the matchup. 2nd and 6 from the 40 means more Bijan Robinson. Decent block. There's Bijan. That's actually going to be a first down. 1st and 10. We're going to run the football, of course. Kyle Pitts kind of gave up on his block, and Bijan's going to lose a yard. 2nd and 11. Would love to tie it up before the end of the first half. We're going to go to Kyle Pitts. He makes the catch in traffic for the first. Trey Lance, perfect so far. 5 of 5 for 41 yards. Offense has not been the issue so far. Our defense is just not playing up to the standard that you'd expect. They got to be a bit better. Maybe you wouldn't expect it. We've definitely not been great, but I would love for them to play better. That's for sure. And that is the 2-minute warning. Still 14-7. In a great position to tie things up. Just got to keep going. Here's 2nd and 6. Throw to Kyle Pitts. He works underneath the zone coverage. Look at number 96 in coverage. When you see a number in the 90s, typically you're going to want to throw at them. That was a good call. 1st and 10 from the 12. Kyle Pitts open enough. We throw to him. Nice catch. Kind of got bumped over the middle. Otherwise, it might have been a touchdown. 1:30 to play. Bijan gets the give. Little cut back. It's going to be 3rd and 1, which I'm incredibly comfortable with. Time not a factor for us right now, except for playing defense. So 3rd and 1. Jeremy Chin creeps up over the center. It's pretty much right where we're trying to run. Algier shut down. We lose a couple. Now, do we go for the touchdown, try to tie it up, or go for the field goal knowing that we get the football back? Coach wants us to go for it. I usually play aggressive. I'm going to keep playing aggressive. 4th and 3. Who wants to get open? Nobody. Trey Lance is sacked, trying to step up. Carolina takes over. Carrington just can't cover. Can't cover in space like that. Bryce Young having a career day. And I don't regret going for it. I just wish somebody got open or I was able to hit an open receiver in time. It's obviously not what you want. Good play by Jesse Bates. I can't say that too often. Carolina has called their final timeout. They're on the 50. We got to watch Jonathan Mingo. We're in a zone defense, but he's the one we got to cover, and he's pretty much tripled. Young looking for space, ends up throwing it away. Deion Dobbins was right there. Hit him. You're not buddies with him. Hit the quarterback. Could be the final play of the first half if we can just keep these guys in bounds. And we can't. Or can we? Oh my goodness. Big catch, but Carolina's not going to have enough time to run this up and spike it, so that is the final play of the first half. Definitely should have stepped out of bounds. Maybe played for a long field goal or at least another shot. Trying to break a tackle and staying in there. Big mistake. Carolina leads 14-7 going into the half. We needed to play better, but didn't play too badly. Just didn't end up converting on that last trip down there. Carolina with one more possession than we had. What are you going to do? 3rd quarter. Here we go. This is why maybe you take the field goal at the end of the first half, but we had a real good opportunity to tie it up. We took it. Didn't end up working, unfortunately, as Troy Anderson's injured and walking real gingerly, limping to the locker room. He doesn't play a ton anymore, but definitely does play on special teams. At speed is extremely useful. All right, got to play without him now. Probably. Definitely look kind of serious as Lance is under pressure and is sacked. Brian Burns screaming in. And if it wasn't him, it was going to be somebody else. 2nd and 22. We're going to give Kyle Pitts a shot down the field. Split the safeties. There he goes, Kyle Pitts. Huge catch down the field. And we've changed sides. Down to the Carolina 41. We flip sides of the field just like that. Trey Lance with a bomb. Kyle Pitts catches it. That's huge. Really good throw. I wish that was a little bit farther away from the safety. Von Bell, but still great overall spot. And a massive, massive play. You know, whenever you have a play where you lose a ton of yards, even if it's first down, you know, your odds of getting that first down are so much lower, as Bijan with a great run scooped up. But when you can, you know, hit on a deep shot, it's certainly huge, as Troy Anderson, quad strain, is done for the day. But Bijan Robinson in the zone. Kyle Pitts in the zone. Our offense is ready to go. There's Bijan, great blocks. And he can't make Jeremy Chin miss? What? Bijan, come on. I don't need the blocking to show me how good they are. Obviously, it's nice. I want Bijan to show me how good he is. And we're going to have Kyle Pitts one-on-one here. That's a touchdown. It's not, because Trey Lance was under pressure and missed the throw. First incompletion of the game. That gets Kyle Pitts out of the zone. That's devastating. It should be a touchdown. We should be tied right now. That is wild. There's Robinson. Just use that power. Make it 3rd and goal from the 3. 3rd and goal. Drummond comes in motion. CPU loves to call this Z spot with the motion. We had a ton of receivers open. We're going to go to Algier instead of Rashid Shaheed. And Tyler Algier with a very rare receiving touchdown. But you can't really get a whole lot more open than that. As long as Trey Lance could have thrown it accurately, it was always going to be a score. And it was accurate enough. We're going to be tied at 14. And if you think this series is fun, you got to check out the Riverside series. I don't know why so many people are slow to get up on the uptake. Because all these comments are so positive. I guess it could be the vocal minority, right? But even some people saying, man, I don't know why I didn't give this series a shot earlier. It might be your most fun and best series. The games are usually wild. The episodes are a ton of fun. I think maybe the gap could be just because it's college football and there's no draft. There's no off season. You get new players from like full season recruitments. But the games, if you like watching the games are as fun as anything. And I'm as stupid and bad as ever. So check out that series, please. Here's 2nd and 8 from the Panthers. We're in man coverage. Here's a check down to Sanders. Humphreys cannot wrap up. Bad angle, I guess. 3rd and 5. That's got to be a false start. Right guard and the right tackle both jumped. Thank you. It's a huge 3rd and 10. We're going to take away Miles Sanders on this. And down goes Young. It's Kyrie Yankee. Picking up right where he left off. Great rookie year. Incredible postseason for Kyrie Yankee. And I think that's his first sack of the season here in week 3. Bijan, 12 for 102 and a touchdown. We got to feed him to end this second half. Take us to victory, Bijan Robinson. As long as we don't get tackled for a loss, Bijan's going to stay in the zone. We're going to move the fullback Espinoza over. And I like the idea of him being a lead blocker. At least another guy on this side of the field. Bijan can use his speed. Probably should have used a stiff arm. I also like the idea of Drummond coming in motion. Maybe bringing that corner over. And then Bijan just having, you know, a race to the outside. I didn't really like where that left us, though. 3rd and inches. Tyler Algier. I was going to say nothing but space, but that ended up looking close. 1st and 10. Why not start with a pass? We do it so well. Drummond somewhat came open. There's Keelan Terry with the sack. That was just trying to do too much. Football needed to come out earlier. Instead, we were just like searching for the deep play when it maybe wasn't necessarily open. Here's 2nd and 20. It's supposed to be a screen. Bijan's got to not try and block for so long and get out and do your job. 3rd and 20, man. Because Bijan's blocking nobody. Count from the snap here. Look how long it takes him to even become an option. It's too late. And guess what? If he gets out, we have blockers. We have runoffs all over the place. Do you believe Bijan can win this foot race, right? Between him and these two unblocked defenders, J.C. Horn, Von Bell. And I'll tell you, he's getting at least to the 40. At least. 3rd and 20. We're going deep. Rashid Shaheed, win it! Cannot reel it in. I do have ears, unfortunately. I'm going to cut them off. This headset just won't stay on. Man, I looked at Quentin Drummond here. I looked at Kyle Pitts. In the end, I thought Shaheed was the best option one-on-one. I just thought it was the biggest speed variation, maybe, or variance, I should say. But J.C. Horn just makes a really nice play. Shaheed does end up getting a step. Can't really throw the ball a whole lot better. But Horn just makes a nice play. And we'll punt. I know I said take, Bijan to victory, but we got sacked, and I tried to get it to him on a screen. I was going to throw it to him, but I tried to do too much on that first down. It's got to be more just straight run focused. Don't want to be too predictable, but you don't want to punt anyway, or either. Oh, down goes Young. It's Johnny Hamilton. Not the fastest guy, but he chased down Young in a hurry. Can we get a second look at this? Run it back. 1st and 10. Bryce Young backed up. And, oh my goodness. The center just gave up. It looked like it was a screen almost. He tried to maybe double team Kyrie Yankee, but he left Johnny Hamilton completely unblocked. What are you doing? 2nd and 17. Did they give up trying to get the first here? I mean, I would say essentially with the run, big hit by Bates, but they get a lot of it back. It's 3rd and 6 now from the 17. We were going to blitz here, but, I mean, the playbook is wide open for them. They're not restricted at all. Von Holland one-on-one. Quick throw, nearly picked off the tip by Okuda. Oh, come on, Jeff. We'll get the ball back on the punt, but, I mean, that could have been a pick 6. Even if it wasn't, it's great field position on, like, the 15-yard line. Oh, Rashid Shaheed with a little jump cut. It's a really good return by Rashid Shaheed. And again, the sliders have not changed. I told you I'm not going to change them after one bad game for Bijan Robinson where the offensive line doesn't run block. He had 4.7 yards per carry last week, as we end the 3rd quarter. And today he's like over 10 yards per carry. They're going to be really good games. There are going to be some bad games. It happens. All right, let's see if we can get the ball into the hands of Bijan Robinson on the screen this time. 2nd and 6. Got blockers. Bijan makes a man miss. Bijan looking for space, running into his own players. Let's try a dive. Ooh, Bijan, big power. Takes a hit. Only gets a couple. 2nd down and 8. Roll out. I'm wanting to be crazy. We get it to Drake London. That was too crazy. You can't really throw that. That's too crazy. It worked, but it's too crazy. 3rd and 3. They did not rotate over with the tight ends. Definitely a zone defense, but I love our numbers here. Bijan going to have to cut it up the middle, and he gets the 1st down. Love that. Ooh, they blitzed. Bijan breaks a tackle, looking for space. Gets 2. Hard fought 2. Here's 3rd and 8. What do we like here? Kind of like Drummond a bit more shallow. Run after catch opportunities. Bijan is the primary read. Bijan is open. He catches the football, but cannot get much more than that. And it's 4th and 2 now from the 7. I feel like we've dominated this game. And it's 14-14. We got to take the lead. I hate it. 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 But we got to take the lead. Just has to be done. 17-14. Younghoe Koo's kick is good. Our defense has played well outside of the 1st quarter-ish. Got to continue. 2nd 11. Our linebackers are just looking for something to do. That's not usually a good sign. A.J. Terrell allows a catch. It's so tough to, for me at least, to locate my user linebacker on those plays because I feel like I'm right on line to where they're going to go. And then it's like always more shallow. But if I go more shallow, they just cut it to the other side and they're gone. I always whiff. But even if I do land the hit stick, which is rare, they don't drop it, which is frustrating. It really is. Zay Jones back in the field. I'm taking that bonus back. 2nd and 2. Panthers still in a great spot to tie or win this game. We had to do something about that. 3rd and 1 from midfield. If I were them, I'm playing hard for the 1st down. Not trying to do too much. We're going to bring Javon Holland up. And we're playing run D here. They're going to pass. Stanley dives and misses. Wide open receivers. Hayden Hurst. You got to save a touchdown. But the Panthers go into field goal range. We were trying to back them up. We were trying to play for a big play. And obviously it did not work out. Nobody covered the tight end. And do they get one more play off before the 2-minute warning? They do not. And that is another timeout. 2-minute warning. Panthers, of course, have 3 timeouts. Not that they'll need them. 2 minutes to go in this game. 31 yards away from a touchdown. And they are certainly in field goal range. It's tough. Young just throwing it away wisely. 3rd and 2. Somebody get after him. Somebody did! Down goes Young. It's Deshaun Humphreys. We're going to call a timeout. What a play. Needed to keep Carolina out of the end zone. Field goal really doesn't hurt us too much. And we got a big sack from Deshaun Humphreys when we needed it, making up for a mistake earlier, in my opinion. And it's 4th and 11. Here's the kick, and it is good. Carolina ties it up. Zane Gonzalez, the kicker. And we'll have 1 minute and 23 seconds, 2 timeouts to try and get into field goal range to win this game. It's not a great start. Here we go. Going to start with a screen to Bijan. Yeah, I didn't like the way the blocking worked out, but Bijan makes it happen on his own. That is a big start. 1:10. That's quickly going to be under a minute by the time we get lined up here. 50 seconds to go. Algier in the game. I don't love that. Time is of the essence, though. Oh, it's going to be overthrown and nearly intercepted. 2nd and 10, 43 seconds. Am I trying to do too much? This time I just get it to Bijan. We can stay in bounds here because we have 2 timeouts. Try to get extra yardage. The reason I do that in that spot is because I'm trying to get an extra 15 yards, not just an extra 3 or 4. Because obviously if I knew we were going to get tackled there, I probably don't call the timeout. Here's 1st and 10. Rolling out with Lance. Looking for an option. We're going to scramble and dive and get the first. Derek Brown injured on the play. We love it. Hey, he's a video game character to me. If his pixels get injured, I'm all for it. I am all for it. I don't like this going to George Espinoza. Let's flip that around. I don't like George Espinoza being my big shot downfield, my freaking fullback. Here's 1st and 10 from the 41. Play action could take us out of field goal range, which is scary. We're going deep. It's coming back, and it's caught by Pitts. Oh, my goodness. That is a chaotic play. We're going to call a timeout. That is a chaotic play. Oh, my goodness. Let's take another look at this. So we go play action, which is bold from midfield. If we get sacked, we're screwed. Saw Madsen. That's probably the right read. We get aggressive. We try to go for it all. And you know what? Kyle Pitts against Shaq Thompson. If that ball's led out into the end zone, that's a game winner, right? But Lance gets hit as he throws. Can't get everything behind it. It ducks out and it's wobbling. But Shaq Thompson already lost on the route, trying to recover. Doesn't realize how underthrown this ball is. Kyle Pitts works back beautifully to the football. And it's a beautiful underthrow. And now we have 20 seconds. Now, we could run it. We probably have 1 run to get this lined up. And then we'd probably spike it and get back to the line. Here we go from Bijan. Let's just get back to the line here. We're going to spike it. We have plenty of time. Time not really an issue right now. 4, 3, 2 seconds on the clock. We're going to line up for the game winner. Carolina almost surely going to ice us. But Younghoe Koo's got the can't be iced feature. Idiots. That's why Frank Reich got fired. He doesn't even know what superstar abilities we have. What a charlatan. Final play of the game. Younghoe Koo to win it. These superstar abilities are OP. I can see exactly where I'm kicking. You can't ice me. I can make it go slow. You're done. Here's the kick. Up and good. Younghoe Koo cannot be stopped. It's a game winner over Carolina. And we win 20-17. It was the Bijan Robinson show today. I don't know how we didn't end up scoring more points. Was it just mistakes when we tried to pass? Maybe we should have run every single play. That probably would have been a better idea. Both quarterbacks played very similar games. Bryce Young averaged more per throw, but very similar games overall. They both played really well, both with a long of 47. Rushing, it was a different story. Miles Sanders couldn't get anything going, and it was the Bijan show. 19 for 127 and a touchdown, 70 yards after contact. And then receiving, Kyle Pitts does have another 100-yard day. Jonathan Mingo had this in the first quarter, 5 for 110. I didn't see him the rest of the game. So we did a good job shutting him down in the second half, that's for sure. Bijan, 5 for 59. He just is a big part of this offense. Madsen, 3 for 11, 2 for 11 for London, 2 for 3 for Algier. Very interesting game. Quentin Drummond just is out there doing cardio. I appreciate you clearing up space, as Humphries had 2 tackles for loss, as did Javon Holland. And also Arnold Ebiketie, who had a sack. A lot of TFLs in this one. Sack for Hamilton, Yankee, Humphries, and Ebiketie. It's a better pass rush than we've had in a long time. And, of course, no interceptions. Jose Carrington has earned an upgrade as well. Right now, just a pass coverage guy, even though he looked a little bit weird in space when I was using him. Block shedding needs to be higher. It's got to be run stopper here. So he jumps up to a 76 overall. I need block shedding. +1, +2 to play rec, +1 to tackle. So I guess we don't have a choice but to take it, right? Yeah, rain game. Yeah, of course, dude. I was pouring. I could barely even see the field. But yes, seemed obvious given the conditions that the running game would play a huge role in who won. Who do you credit the most? Well, Bijan's already unbelievable. We need that boost for that O-line. Those big guys up front had a huge day. It's hard to get much push when you're standing in water every snap, which, yeah, dude, it was like standing in a pool. How could you even pass block or run block or run or do anything? Those guys, I mean, incredible effort. But +3 to run block power and finesse for the next game. It's a really nice boost. Yeah, it's really tough to win in the rain like we did. And just credit to the guys up front. Just went out there, defied all odds, fought through the rain and the water, and we got a big win. Younghoe Koo, I mean, how do you drill a kick through torrential downpour to win the game like that? Unbelievable from Younghoe Koo. He's just built different. But that is the game. That is another win. We're 2-1, currently leading the NFC South. Panthers fall to 0-3. Bucks and Saints each 1-2, and we will face the Saints next week, week 4. I'll see you there. Take it easy.